Okay. That's great. Okay, good. So, fine. Without any further ado, I want to dedicate the first part of the Q&As was written in the email to the question of how to blow the shofar, because I know that many of you are staying home justifiably because of the COVID-19, and many are quarantining. Yet, although we may not come to shul, that mitzvah still remains. That mitzvah of blowing the shofar, which happens to be the only mitzvah of Rosh Hashanah. Remember all the other beautiful things we do on Rosh Hashanah, like dipping an apple in the honey and wishing each other a Shana, tova, metuka, etc., are all customs. But the mitzvah of the day is to blow the shofar. It's a biblical mitzvah. This year, we only blow the shofar on Sunday, September 20th, I believe, not on Shabbat, which is the first day of Rosh Hashanah also, because on Shabbat, we do not blow the shofar, as the sages commanded for multiple reasons. First, because the theme of Shabbat is teshuvah, is to return. In fact, the Kabbalists point out that the name Shabbat shares the same letters as the name, as the word teshuvah, tashuv, Shabbat, exact same letters. That's because, in a way, that's the theme of Shabbat too, to return to ourselves. So we don't need a shofar to remind us to do teshuvah on Shabbat. Shabbat, in and of itself, reminds us of that, and therefore we do not blow the shofar on Shabbat, but we will blow the shofar on Sunday. Now, let's go over some of the laws, and then I'll show you exactly how to blow this shofar. But some of the most important laws relating to the blowing of the shofar, and again, I encourage you to do it at home. Follow these laws and blow the shofar at home for yourself, for your family, for your friends. If you have Jewish neighbors, bring them along, go outside and blow the shofar for them too. Let's spread the light. Let's spread the holy voices of God himself that are blown through the shofar. So a few things. Number one, the timing. The shofar can be blown anytime really during the day of Rosh Hashanah. It cannot be blown at night, but it can be blown anytime during the day. Of course, there's this rule that zrizin makdimin lemitzvot, that for any mitzvah, we have to show some alacrity to demonstrate a passion that we have for God, and therefore the earlier the better. But if one hasn't done it by the afternoon, you can still blow the shofar in the afternoon up until sunset on Sunday. The shofar itself, so in the email yesterday, we added a link of where you can buy a shofar. I'm sure the local Judaica stores also have shofars. You want to make sure that you buy a kosher shofar and that it has somewhat of a kosher certificate. And the reason for that is because there are shofars that are not kosher. Shofars that, for example, are cracked. Sometimes you can barely see the crack, but shofars that are cracked are not kosher. Shofars that are completely straight, they are not kosher. They have to be curved in some shape or form. Shofars that were factory made in a way that no hand came in touch with the making of the shofar. Some part of the some machinery can come in touch, but the hands, it also has to have some type of human involvement. Then again, that renders the shofar not kosher. So you have a few things that can render the shofar not kosher, and therefore you want to make sure you buy a kosher shofar with the kosher certificate. There is no particular size that's required. I mean, most shofars have more or less the same size, but I'm talking about these long shofars. These are also kosher shofars. You can't have too small of a shofar. There's a specific size for that, but you probably won't find them. But if you want to buy those long shofars, they're all kosher also too, but make sure again you have the kosher certificate. Spoke about the timing, spoke about the shofar. I want to speak about now the position of the shofar and actually teach you how to blow the shofar, the position of the shofar, the blessings of the shofar, how many blows we have to blow, etc. So first, by no particular order, but the position of the shofar. So it is better, I'll show you how to blow it soon, but it is better, as most halachic authorities point out, to blow the shofar on the right side of the mouth, not in the center and not on the left, on the right side of the mouth. Why? There are multiple reasons for that. First, because in Judaism, we always prefer the right side over the left, because essentially in Kabbalah, the right side represents kindness, and we want God's kindness on Rosh Hashanah more maybe than any other day. And the left side represents justice, and we try to stay away from that side, from justice, and therefore it's better to blow on the right side. Also, more Kabbalistically, there's a verse that says, Satan omed al yemino lesatno. which means that the Satan or the evil angel that tries to be our in the prosecution team, tries to speak to God and tell God about all of our negativities, he stands on the right side. So to blow him away, to expel him, we blow the shofar on the right side too. That's the position of the shofar. The shofar also must be held in which the horn is facing upward. It can't be held this way or even to the side, but it's got to be here completely upward. And again, the reason for that is to symbolize our yearning towards the heavens. It also says that the soul is like the candle of man, as King Solomon says. Souls are compared to candles. If you've ever looked at a candle, it flickers upwards. It doesn't go downwards. It doesn't go to the side. It goes upwards. And the point of the shofar, in a way, is to express the yearning of the soul. If the soul goes upward, so too does its yearning. And therefore, the shofar must be facing upward. That's regarding the position of the shofar. Regarding how many blows do we need to hear in order to fulfill the mitzvah? So a minimum of 30 blows. That's really preferable, 30 blows. By the way, in synagogue, altogether, we blow 100 blows. And then it is customary also to blow one final blow at the end of the prayer. So it makes it 101. Why 101? Because again, there's a Kabbalistic reason for that. 101 is the numerical value of Michael. Michael, or Michael, or Michael is the angel of kindness. That's the angel, for example, that came to announce to Abraham and Sarah that they were going to have a boy. It was eventually named Yitzchak. But Michael is the angel of kindness, so to evoke again kindness. And the angel of kindness, we try and blow chul at least 101. But I understand that individually it's hard to blow 101 blows. And therefore one should blow at least 30. The 30 blows that one must blow are in the shofar. You can find them. I'm happy to share a guide also a little bit later on. But they constitute of the three blows of the shofar that are repeated multiple times. The three blows of the shofar are tekiah, as many of you know, and that's the long blow, which I'll sound soon. Shevarim, it's cut into three short blows. And then teruah, at least 9, you can add more, but at least 9 very short blows. Ta 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 ta, at least 9. So the reason we have, by the way, those 3 blows is because if the shofar really comes to represent the cry, the voices of the soul or the pain of the soul that wants to return to God and wants to be one with God, then there are 3 types really of cries. If you think about it, also physically, there are 3 types of cry. There's a cry that when we experience pain, that expresses some type of pain, but not the deepest pain. And therefore, the cry can also, in a way, be carried with our voice because it's not that painful. So, for example, if we're in pain, we heard news that are not so good, but not the worst news in the world. So we say, that's the type of cry. It doesn't reflect the deepest pain because, again, we still have the strength to say, Then there's a deeper type of pain. It happens to my children all the time. They fall, and then sometimes they hurt themselves so much they can't even emit that long cry. All they can do is And then the deepest type of pain is where you can't even carry a voice. You're so much in pain that nothing comes out. And then that's what the teruah really represents. You have It's like you're not even crying anymore. You can barely breathe. And that's that type of pain. So those 3 voices really come to represent the cry of the soul that is also divided into 3 based on the pain that the soul is experiencing. Now, we start with the setting of tekiah, the long one, shevarim, the one divided into 3, and teruah, the one divided into 9, and then end that with the tekiah. We start with that setting. Okay, tekiah, shevarim, teruah, and tekiah, by doing that 3 times. Then we go and we do tekiah, the long one, shevarim 3 times, and again tekiah, not the 9 times this time, just 3 blows. Tekiah, shevarim, tekiah. That again also 3 times, and then we end with tekiah, and this time we don't do shevarim. The 3rd setting has tekiah and then teruah, the 9 times, and then tekiah, and we do that 3 times. The reason we do those 3 times is because in general, the number 3 in Judaism comes to establish a fact we've spoken about this, but if an animal, for example, attacks a human being 3 times, is considered a dangerous animal. It cannot be domesticated anymore because he's established his status as dangerous. He did it 3 times. So 2 year, whenever we want to establish something Judaism, like we want to establish those voices, make them a part of us, part of our mitzvah of the day, then we also blow those sets 3 times. Altogether, if you count, 4 times 3 is 12, and then 3 times 3 is 9, so we have 21, and then again 3 times 3 is 9, and then we have altogether 30, the 30 tekiyas, or the 30 blows altogether that we have to blow on Rosh Hashanah. Now, before we blow the shofar, we say 2 blessings. The blessing of Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam. Since it's a mitzvah, as in any other mitzvah, we point out in the blessing that this is a mitzvah, so we add the words Asher Kideshanu B'mitzvotav, which means that blessed be God, etc., that He has sanctified us B'mitzvotav, in His mitzvahs. This is one of the mitzvahs that we have to do, the mitzvah of the day. So we say again, Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam, Asher Kideshanu B'mitzvotav, having in mind the mitzvah of the day of blowing the shofar that we're about to do. Then we say Lishmoa Kol Shofar, to listen to the voice of the shofar. Now, the mitzvah again is to listen, not to blow. That's why not everyone in the family has to blow. Don't worry, only the one, or you can designate just one person. Not everyone has to blow, because the mitzvah again is to listen to the shofar. And again, the reason we listen to the shofar is to awaken our soul and remind us of the cry that's in year, the cry that wants to become one with God, cry that says, please do something soulful, not just material, not just physical. Do good, go pray, study Torah. That's the cry of the soul, and we have to be in tune with it, and therefore we have to listen to it. Lishmoa Kol Shofar. The second blessing is a blessing that he said on any new mitzvah. It's a new mitzvah for the year, and that's the blessing of Shechianu V'Kimanu V'Gianu Lazman Hazeh. Those are the 2 blessings. Okay, now let's speak about the blowing itself. So, I don't know if there are any musicians among us. If you are a musician, you may know a little bit about the trumpet, but it's blown almost like a trumpet. What this means is that you have to close your lips and create some type of vibration with breath that is coming from here. What's this place called? From here? Shmuel, help me out.
Diaphragm.
Diaphragm, thank you. So it's got to be a deep breath that then goes through those 2 lips that are almost sealed. And they are almost sealed because, again, the purpose is to create a vibration. Now, I'm going to try and demonstrate it, and you can try yourselves right now and create that vibration as I'm about to do. So we close our lips, and then remember, it's going to be on the right side. So we want to create the vibration right here on the right side of the mouth. And we're going to try to do this. Did you see that? Can you hear that? You can actually hear the vibration. So you close your lips, but you force air through that side of the mouth that is closed to create this vibration, almost again like blowing a trumpet. So again, you take a deep breath, close your lips, and you're going to create a vibration by forcing the air to open up your lips right here, like this. Get it? You want to try it?
Sure.
Go ahead. Try it, everyone. You can mute yourself, unmute yourself, but try it. You'll see it's pretty easy. Go ahead. Like that. Okay. I can see some of you are trying it. All right, that's great. Now, all you have to do is take the shofar and take the mouthpiece of the shofar right here, and then, in a way, stick it to that side of the lip, that side of the mouth, sorry, that is creating the vibration. The rest of the mouth has to remain completely sealed. But right here, we're creating the vibration, and we're going to try to have the mouthpiece encircle the vibration. That's that side of the mouth that's creating the vibration, so that it doesn't spill outside of the mouthpiece of the shofar. So again, we're going to do this, but this time we're going to put the shofar right here, and you'll see the sound coming almost naturally. Let's try. 1, 2, 3. Again, the mouthpiece of the shofar has to be on the side of the mouth that is creating the vibration. Take a deep breath. There you go, I can hear it. Force the air to go through that side of the mouth. Encircle that side of the mouth with the mouthpiece, and then go in. Good. There you go, there. See, it's pretty easy. Now, I can even see Troy doing it. Well done, Troy. There you go. Okay, now, very important. So we spoke about the different blows. You have the tekiah, which is the long one. That's it. Now, the shevarim is again a sound broken into three. So you almost have to stop the vibration in the middle. So you go, okay, you do three sounds really, like this. Now you can use your tongue to break you can continue to vibrate through that side of the mouth, right? Just use your tongue to stop the vibrations and to break it into three. So you can do this. I don't know if you heard my tongue stopping, but you can use your tongue to stop the air, and then for like a split second, and then continue with the second blow, and then again use your tongue to stop the air, and continue with the third blow. So it goes like this. Okay, you got this? And then the trickiest one, which is maybe the toughest one, but again, you can use your tongue, because your tongue is like, it's almost like when you have, I don't know, a window that's slightly open. So yeah, this is the window that's slightly open, and then you try to seal it with something, and seal it again, and seal it again, and seal it again, and seal it again. But each time you give a little opening, and the air continues to flow. You give a little opening, and the air continues to flow. So that's what we're trying to do. So we have this vibration that's ongoing, and then the tongue that stops at 3 times for shavarim, or 9 times for teruah. So I'm gonna show you how it sounds, but it's gonna be like this with your lips. See, my tongue is the thing creating those stops in between the vibration. So, and that's exactly what I'm doing here, blowing the shofar. That's it. Now, it's really pretty easy. I mean, it's again like blowing the trumpet. All you have to do is create this vibration, forcing the air through this side of the mouth, through those lips, the upper one and the lower one, by still trying to close it, but forcing it through so that only the air is coming out, encircling the mouthpiece of the shofar to that side of the mouth, and then using your tongue to either create a shavarim sound, divided into 3, or teruah sound, divided into 9, sorry. Now, one last thing, and that is that there are laws on how long the shavarim needs to be and the teruah needs to be. There's a few things we want to keep in mind. Since shavarim comes to create 3 small sounds, we want to keep them short. We want to do this. Or maybe a little bit longer. But if you do it too long, like this, then it doesn't sound like shvarim anymore. Then it sounds like 3 tekiyas.
Right.
So you want to keep them short. You want to have that in mind. Same with the teruahs. You don't want the teruah to sound like the shavarim. So you can have 9 sounds like this. That sounds like you doing 9 shavarim. They have to be really short. They're called in the words of halacha. It's a beautiful name. It's a beautiful word. Trumitin. That's what they call. So it goes like that. Much, much shorter, again, because that's teruah. We're not trying to create any shavarim. So you want to keep that in mind. Another thing about the blowing is that preferably in between the shavarim and the teruah, you shouldn't catch a breath. There should be one flow. Oh. So you can't do this. You can't catch your breath between the two. What it needs to sound like, it has to be like one big breath. It needs to sound like this. one big breath between the two. They need to be connected. The reason they need to be connected is because they together sound you see, biblically, is that we have to blow the tekiah. Now, the rabbis added the shavarim and teruah, but we want them to be also a sort of tekiah. Them alone are not really a tekiah, they're not really a blow. But if you put them together, then you can call that a blow, and therefore they have to be together. So that's another thing you want to have in mind. One last thing is that the very final blow, remember there's 30 of them, so the 30th one is a tekiah gedola. And then not only are you testing your vibration skills, but you're going to be testing your lung capabilities and see if you can blow a tekiah that's 1 minute long, 5 minutes long, or if you David Blaine, maybe 15 minutes long. Good luck with that. Okay. But that's how you blow the shofar, my friend. So again, I encourage you to blow the shofar this coming Sunday for yourselves and for your families. Invite Jewish neighbors, Jewish friends to come and listen to the shofar. And this class anyway is recorded, so you'll have the recording of what to do it if you forgot any details. But again, it's the mitzvah of the day, so please, please, please try to fulfill it to the best of your abilities. Any questions before we go to the regular Q&A? Because I have a few questions that I received this week. Any questions about the shofar? Hope I was clear enough.
Rabbi?
Yes.
It's here.
Yes, Anna, I see you, yes.
Yeah, it's just was thinking, can we blow it after Shabbat is over, after Havdalah, Saturday night?
That's a good question. No, because again, it's a mitzvah for the day, not for the night.
Okay.
So that's a good question, but only during the day can we fulfill this mitzvah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rabbi.
Yes.
My 14-year-old
Oh,
is
well.
probably my 14-year-old daughter is probably the best in the whole family. Does it satisfy a kosher halakhic rule if she does it for the whole family?
So what happened to your skills, Shmuel? I don't understand that.
Well, I was a drummer, so I lack in the horn technique.
Look, she can do it for herself, no doubt. She can do it for the ladies in the house, but she preferably shouldn't do it for you. If there's really no way, then maybe there's a halakhic opinion that says yes. But if you can try and do it yourself, then do it yourself. Especially that I know your musical skills; they're pretty good.
And last one, when you're done with all the questions, can you just do it all together so we have it in tape record?
Do it all together now so that we can end this part of the Q&A. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is how hopefully your Rosh Hashanah blowing of the shofar is going to sound like. Remember, 30 blows all together with 3 sets of, the sets that I was speaking about before. Okay. It goes like this. And by the way, I'm doing it sitting down, but you should really do it standing up. That's it. That's how it's supposed to sound like on Sunday. I do encourage you to do it without a tie. But I will tell you, and maybe we'll conclude with this very important thought, and that is that we are taught that the moment of the blowing of the shofar is probably the closest moment we can get, or the closest we can be with the heavens. It's the moment in which we crown God as a king. That's really the theme of the holiday of Rosh Hashanah. Just before Rosh Hashanah, really God, as the Kabbalists teach, has second thoughts and says to himself, maybe I shouldn't rule over humanity. They don't listen to me anyway. And he retreats himself a little bit. And on Rosh Hashanah, we come and we say, no, please, God, we want you to be our king. We'll be as loyal as could be. We'll be as dedicated as could be. And we crown God as a king. This is what this means. This is like when we blow trumpets for king parades and queen parades, as they still do in Great Britain. So too, we'll blow our trumpet to crown God as a king. And God then, at that moment, says, fine, you're king. And he prepares to erase everything from the past and focus on the present and on the future for us, and says to us, yes, tamlichuni alechem, please, let me be your king. I accept this with love, and I will shower you with love. And therefore, it's a very, very holy moment. At that moment, the Zohar points out, there's a light that comes down to this world that has never been here before. Every Rosh Hashanah, a light comes down to this world that has never been here before, because it's a new year, yet another year, and we need new tools for this new year. So God gives us this light that has never been here before. It comes down during the blowing of the shofar. So we have to be receptive to it. But if we are, we're really the closest that can be to God. And no doubt that connection really blesses us and empowers us for the year to come. I will say this, that it's also therefore a moment to think of any prayers that we may have personally and collectively. And certainly I would encourage you to think of our nation and of our world. It's time for God to send us the redemption, and we should shake the heavens as we blow the shofar to ask that he indeed fulfills this ultimate prayer. But that's the importance of that moment, and that's why really I would encourage everyone to do it for themselves, for their families. I'm not saying this, but look, I try to go this year. Unfortunately, I won't be able to, but I try to go to Chaparral to do it. Wherever there are Jews, I try to go to them and do it each and every year. And the reason I'm saying this to you is because it shouldn't be, we're all soldiers in the same army here. You should do it in your neighborhoods. You should do it with your contacts, with your social networks. That's how we spread Hashem's light. That's how we do it. So really, I encourage you not just to blow the shofar for yourselves, but to think of maybe 2 or 3 Jews that live nearby. Go to their home. They'll appreciate it. I promise you. Yes, it's awkward, embarrassing. You get over it quickly. Don't worry, and they'll appreciate it very much. So I encourage you to do that. Okay.